Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the PUBG European League Contenders Final Stage. I'm Toby, joined by Cormac, and we've got 4 games of Erangel coming your way today.
We do indeed. We've already had 2 fantastic days of action for the boys and girls at home, and now we get into day 3 of this week. And Erangel, 4 full games, because yesterday, as we had 2 Miramar, 2 Erangel. But let's see how the standings are looking going into today's games.
See, Northern Lights still on top. They have been pulled up on, though, by Zoekt Een Naam, Gamerlegion, no tag. Very steadily up there behind them. And then when we look down in the bottom, Moonwolf, they are having a hard time in these games over this week. We saw them do so damn well coming into the finals, but they just have not really had things going. And you actually mentioned a fun statistic on we need a home just before we started the broadcast here. I don't know if it's fun, though.
It's not fun for them. So far this week, they've had no game above 10 points.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, you can get by so far with an average of about 8 points per game, but when some of those games are 0 points, you have to make up for that, don't you?
It drags down super hard, and them sitting down there, of course, it's not something they're going to be satisfied with whatsoever. Point system, we don't need to go into too much detail. I would take it for granted that you guys out there watching know it by now, but of course, 10 points for a win and 1 per kill, and then no points for 9th through 16th place. And it goes to show, some of these teams, especially when we have these rough circles, it's arguably it's harder on Miramar than Erangel, but sometimes, you can stay alive for 20 plus minutes through the worst of worst circles in the universe, and then you get killed and you're like, oh my god, that was a tough game. And then you're like, wait, we got 9th? And then you go around like, guys, how many kills did you get? 0. Okay, so we got 1 point for that entire game?
Yeah, exactly. and even as we're about to get into the first game, 4 Angry Kids, they only have 1 placement point this week.
That is insane.
And that's okay. They have 11 overall, but in 1 week
they had 2 wins in week 1. That's a bit of an uphill for them. Hopefully now we'll see them get something going. But then again, their good performances on Erangel has mainly been with them dropping in military base, and now with Northern Lights being there and 4AK not really seeming to want to contest that. Well, maybe that's part of the reason why they haven't found the same success.
Of course, they do need a good result, as do the side of we need a home.
Yeah.
As I said, looking at kind of averages, I want to talk about Desperado. They have a current average in week 2 of 8.63 points per game. And when you look at how Zoekt Een Naam and Northern Lights are doing, they're hitting that average overall in the finals of around 8 to 8.76. So Desperado, if they continue that consistency, we will clearly find them in the top 3, I believe.
They'll be making their way on up, I'm sure about it. You can see, of course, the matches for today. We are still making up for the lost games on Thursday. So this will be the last day with 4 games before we tomorrow bring you just 3, as has been the usual throughout the entire final stages so far. But game number 1 of the day has commenced. It's going to be game number 18 overall. And we have 30 more games to play after this one's over. So believe me, guys, there's going to be plenty of PUBG coming your way over the next couple of weeks. And whenever we're done here, believe me, you'll get to jump over to PEL for the weekend and watch the games go down there. Now, we need a home. They normally go as Naya. They're down in the area of Primorsk, and seems like 4AK are too, but now we need a home backing out.
That is very interesting indeed. I suppose they recognize and realize, look, they don't want to get into any early unfortunate situations. So they're better off just separating, kind of playing the safe route, and then see obviously how the circles do pan out.
It's interesting because we've seen we need a home land over in the military side of things before when these circles have gone south. Besiktas has been down there as well. And, now it's Quickmath's turn to take charge in the southern side. Of course, don't want to go all the way up to Se7en when the plane is that far down south. So plenty of teams over. Look at Se7en as well. Over in Milta Power. Avangar are going to be contested for their money's worth here. This is going to be a cluster to start off the day.
Se7en, they ended yesterday's games with a fantastic performance coming out on top.
Yeah.
But they need to follow it up for sure. And, hey, look, no better than to challenge Avangar and Milta. And if they can get the better of that?
I don't know why, but in this, I was actually taking for granted there that it's going to be a military game. I don't know. I just wanted to see that plane so far south, and it's just so usual that when you have these planes it's followed by middle circle. But I guess I was surprised. It's going to be a rather center one, bit on the western side of things, but should be pretty easy to work around it. 4K, they got scared early, but seems like they, with their commitment to go prim, they managed to deviate away the guys from We Need a Home.
I always find Primorsk is a really overall solid area to land and to loot up and to get a really nice, solid set of equipment for your team. And also, generally speaking, unless the circle is shifted very heavily north, it is quite accessible to get to those circles and get into a safe position later on in the game.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an edge team anyway, which, I mean, most teams obviously usually are, having that entire ridgeline both up on the northwestern side and on the south to rotate around is pretty, it makes things a lot easier. But then again, I mean, we need a home, we have Winside, now we have PG looting further down south of what we've seen them do before as well. Yeah. So it is going to be contested. Of course, I'm very sure you guys watching out there from home or wherever you may be, wondering how we have all this info without their teams we're talking about being shown on the screen. It is because we are watching the map stream as well, which we highly recommend you to do too if you have 2 monitors. And even if you don't, you can do like all the multi-Twitch different things. So so make sure to hop over to PEL_esports_map and you'll be able to see everything going on in the grand scheme of things.
So we do see PG, they're kind of normally in terms of Nemeth will look to separate, nail up, have done it as a 4-man team. That's normally what we see them do in these situations. And, of course, they're not going to be put under pressure. It's the early stage of games. We see a lot of teams are around the south to southeast side of the map. So, really, it's going to give them plenty of time to gather up as a 4-man group and then move on in.
Yeah, the question is going to be where they'll be looking to settle down. Seems like Nemeth has already found the compound they probably want to stay in. I mean, it's one of those areas of the map where there are compounds, but there's so much room in between that even when you split, should a team decide to push on you, you have to be pretty much moving towards your teammates already in order to make it there before your teammates will most likely be taken out. So we'll see how they decide to split around Gatka as the circle comes closing in just about 20 seconds time.
Moonwolf, they have a nice location down in Nova. I do wonder, do teams tend to look to bridge camp if they know there's a couple of teams heading out from a military base?
On the western circle, on the western bridge, I mean, potentially, but because of this circle and its center point being as open as it is, I would highly doubt that any team would prioritize the potential of getting like camping kills as opposed to going in and get yourself a proper position in the circle instead. Because, I mean, it is an open area, limited compounds up for grabs, and you don't even know that the team that is military is choosing the bridge you're sitting by. So is it really going to be worth it in the end? Most likely not, but we'll see. We'll see.
That's what I was wondering. Do you see Tornado Energy? They're doing kind of exactly what you essentially said. They're just moving in to the circle as quickly as possible, as are Desperado, getting closer to where no tag team are, and in between Zoekt Een Naam as well, who of course are used to going to Pachinki straight away.
Yeah, I mean, Zoekt Een Naam have a triple split right now, which I like, but I don't know if I agree with it. They're split extremely thin, and if teams come rolling by, I mean, sure, you can shoot at them and scare them off, but if any of them decide to stop on you, you're sitting in a 2-1-1 split. And neither of these players, I mean, other than T-Bone and the guys up here, Paige and Ivor, I mean, you have Vasco completely isolated from the teammates, and there's a scenario here where opponents, they come in between them, and then all of a sudden, how do you reposition and gather up?
Exactly, because we see Gamerlegion and Desperado, you point out, they are essentially in between where Vasco is at the moment.
Exactly, so Vasco has been somewhat isolated from his teammates. Hopefully he'll find a way to get back towards him, of course, with the next circle popping at some point in the near future. We'll see if it lands on them. That could make things even harder, but if it goes away to one of the edges, that should probably mean, you know what, we'll just wait for everyone else to leave, and then we'll rendezvous later on. Example, used 30 of his 90 total bullets. Now it's down to 60. And in the end, Hanny was the one to run himself over. That's unfortunate, because he is out in the open, and Comfort secured a kill on towards him. That is, that's a tough way to start your day.
It's really not the best start for Riddle Esports. Overall, they're not doing too bad so far. They're lying 10th overall with 85 points. So really, you know, one bad game this game isn't really going to hurt them too much.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but course, you don't want to go into the next circles as a 3-man team.
No, but I mean, you can look at their loot already as well. You saw right there, just 2 first aids, 0 utility whatsoever. If this game does go out in the open, which it very likely could, you need to start gathering some loot because you will not have time to do it later. There won't be compounds available for you to loot later on. So it's going to be extremely hard for them should they not be able to gather some more. Gather some more for their inventory and backpacks to run around with. Avangar, we didn't see, I want to say, anything from them yesterday. They had a little bit of a quiet day in the bigger picture yesterday, and yeah, we'll see. They're sitting on the far eastern side right now, probably hoping for a hard shift out in that direction, but we'll have to wait, of course, until the circle pops to see where they're headed.
Well, yeah, Avangar are another team that this week have yet to score a game over 10 points, so they need to really get into a high position. I think that's part of the reason why they moved into the circle earlier than what we have seen them over the past couple of days, just to really get a safe spot. And
Avangar is one of those 7 gaming-esque teams that we can have them do 3, not horrible, like you can say horrible, like they can have 3 extremely bad games in a row, and then all of a sudden they pop off a 19-kill win. You're like, what the? Where did that come from, right? So never take them out, never take them for granted. I guess you should say. They'll rule them out. Yannick not to be ruled out either. For Wake, hey. They needed to get things going, and this is not the start to the day they wanted.
No, we've seen 2 kills going over on the side end between PG and Besiktas Esports. So right now, 4IK down to 2 members. No tag team, give it looking very good in terms of the damage standings overall in this week, having 3-4-2-7-9 second overall, Toby.
Yeah. But he's holding good angle there down from Watertown, hoping that the circle, of course, send us up something towards them. Now we'll see in just about 10 seconds time to where indeed these guys are headed, because there are a lot of different scenarios in this game as to where this circle goes. Very, very, very different endings available.
I do like where Moonwolf right now are occupied. Of course, they're moving straight into the circle.
They're just going to go straight up towards
position.
Potato. Yeah.
But they've no real danger around them for now, other than potentially Avangar and Northern Lights. And they have a nice, easy position covered in terms of their vehicles. They'll move on forward.
Everybody except 3 teams were inside the circle once it popped, and now it's going to be up to the guys that are split to maybe move a little closer to one another. And for the guys that are sitting together, figure out whether the compound they've settled for is the one they want to stick around in. Gifted does go down. You saw Vasco has made his way on over to his teammates, so Zoekt Een Naam indeed has managed to group up. Fortunately for them. Rook gets finished off, and that should be, that's going to be T-Bone and Vasco making the rotation back down towards the yellow houses.
I like that. Secure the kill, move on out, play it safe, pick on forward. Just clever play coming out from Zoekt Een Naam.
Quickmath here on your screens had himself a 3rd place. Make that a 2nd place game yesterday. Out in the open, the final game of the day, actually. We'll see if they can manage to pull off where they stopped yesterday and get themselves a good finish off here in the first game of today as well. I mean, there's going to be 4 games of Erangel, and if you can get a good way to start things off, there's no saying in what you can do over the whole day.
100% agree with that. We saw Washout taking a couple of shots with that Mini 14 onto Northern Lights for now, so you have an idea. I believe it was in the deep, so he's gone into the house just to play a little bit safe.
That is a wise choice on his part. Don't want to over-aggress. No reason to give up any knocks freely, and especially when all your teammates pretty much on the other side of the field.
Yeah.
Do not want to risk going out. Ronnie and Northwest, they're going to do a wide rotation on the western side, hoping that they can find an easier approach over on the east, I would assume. Just go all the way underneath and see if you can get in the circle from elsewhere. Winside, though, they have found themselves Desperado, and now it's Sira from the church. He's going to try and do something here.
We saw in the corner, be put under pressure by Cindy. I think it's going to be a 3-1 situation. Yeah.
Not a whole lot more to it there. There was miraculous stunts with the US. Not exactly the vehicle that you want to pull off Dukes of Hazzard type stunts in.
That's what I was thinking, all right.
Yeah, not the optimal vehicle for crazy moves. And showed right there, didn't really work out. The boom goes down. Vasco hits a shot straight on the needle. That's going to be him at least knocked for now. No guarantees and finish-offs coming in. And Silenzo playing off the position here. Yet another church in the game. They are religious people, the inhabitants of Erangel.
To Hujo finally getting taken out by Besiktas. I think they were potentially trying to look for maybe the bait in some way. Quickmath might look to edge closer to where his teammate was, but obviously,
yeah, Quickmath, they wanted to get a better angle and unfortunately lost 2-0 in the process of it. We saw like down south, Moonwolf and We Need a Home got into a bit of a skirmish, as I believe it was Washout. Yep, Washout who got finished off just before We Need a Home trying to hold them off. They managed to do that, last one player in all of it. But at least they live to see another circle, which will pop in just about 10 seconds time. So a rather quiet early game here, but that is again because everyone prioritizes compounds and positions right now. The fights, they will happen. You can see how open it is already now. Wherever we shift, there's going to be people who's forced to do those kind of YOLO-seeming pushes, and oh cow, here we go.
That was a shift. I was expecting this phase.
Yeah.
Toby, I was really expecting it, and now it's shifted very heavily east. Of course, it's favouring the likes of Riddle, Avangar, and Se7en.
In all honesty, you'd rather have this shift on the eastern side than on the west, because you have ruins, you have all the water. That is not optimal here. You have, at least if you go hard enough north, you can go Razok, you can crash into Pachinki, you can hide up in the potato hills. I mean, there's playable terrain for, if not all teams, then most of the teams.
Yeah.
But you have to go and secure it now. You cannot be coming into this circle too late, because that's going to be, well, if not suicidal, then something close to it.
So we're looking between Tornado Energy and Se7en Esports. I believe ILGG does have a bit of an idea. A couple of members of Se7en are outside that building, looking to zone them out.
I see Peltier's jumping off the vehicle there. Now they have a bit of a obstruction on the bridge. Didn't want to sit around in that vehicle while it was parked still, and the bridge makes perfect sense to me. And We Need a Home, 3 players in 1 vehicle. That's a dangerous play to pull off. They're crashing into the rocks here. Seems like they've found themselves some Desperado players too.
Well, it was kind of the wisest choice, right? Just hit into that rock and then just get out of the vehicle. But Rita gets knocked down and is going to go down just like that. Coming out from Cold Demented, getting a knockdown. Calvin Klein getting the final blow.
Yep, the split works really, really well for the Desperado team, and they need this. That's the most important part of this split. The only reason this split works is because Colt and Calvin really land the shot that they need to do, because had they been able to push on down and been down by the wall, neither Colt Mensa or Calvin could have done anything to help them there.
Exactly. You see Zoekt Een Naam and Besiktas getting very close to each other, getting a little bit sweaty, but Paul Derek and Rip9 going to be able to just survive for now, using those utilities.
Yeah, for now, you say. It's not going to be easy at all. Ival falls back. He sees the nade thrown towards him. Smart reaction play there. Takes a shot to the back from Tamil. And Besiktas and Zoekt Een Naam, 2 teams we haven't really seen fight against each other too much. Usually plays on each their side of the circle. Now they have to go head on.
It's nice to see this kind of head-to-head, because as you pointed out, we don't see them go at each other that often. But both teams are doing very good overall in the point standings. Zoekt Een Naam lying 2nd and Besiktas lying 6th overall.
And Slento tried to make his way around the circle, didn't really happen. He's going to go down in the water. I don't even think anyone finished him off there. Vasco is going to get a nade straight to the face. That's Simsy securing it, potentially.
He's got to be careful.
Yeah, there you go. He was looking around, making sure no one was peeking over the top. Now Page does look, and Simsy falls back down immediately.
You have to be very careful now. But T-Bone gonna look for the blow, but gets knocked down by Lux.
Yeah, Lux was low HP, but managed to get the knock in. Page is all by himself, now trying to do anything here. Still 4 guys strong on Besiktas. The way they're using this terrain to their advantage, it's so impressive to see. And this is the way that we know Besiktas can do things. Complete and utter annihilation of Zoekt Een Naam. No casualties for Besiktas. We've seen them do these things time and time again earlier on Miramar. They've had a hard time at the start of things here, but if they can bring back this form to the rest of the games, there's no saying in what placement they can get.
100%. Now, we did see this next circle shift. They went from east to south, Toby, just to really kind of, knock the teams on their back a little bit.
Yeah, we have Pachinki, we have Fields.
Yeah.
That's that is not optimal. Let's put it at that. Let's put it that way. Nemerith, miles out in the blue, he's going to go down. Seems to me like 4AK decided to push and crash down towards Desperados. As Se7en, they're rotating miles out and far away from all the action. Full-on crash by 4AK on towards Desperado. We'll have to wait and see what happens in that regard.
Then there's also Northern Lights from a distance, also firing up at both teams. Looking for a bit of a third party.
There we go. Finally back in the action. Ronnie Cray trying to hold the angle. He did get a nade in, and he's going to get the knock on towards Calvin too, but there are 3 more players to be found inside this building.
It's always risky having 3 to 4 players in one building. All it takes is 1 or 2 solid grenades, and that's going to get the work done. But Ronnie Cray going to feel the heat.
He's going to go down. Bullet to the face. Unfortunately for Desperados, they live with the scare. Don't get taken down. Ultra, though, does manage to get picked on off. Besiktas, they had a rough rotation ahead of them. They'd managed to make it in with 3 guys alive, though.
We just see the knockdown come out. Right now, Simsy is going to be a little bit on his own. That vehicle's blown up. Gamerlegion. They got 1 knockdown onto Besiktas member. Now, Simsy is being knocked down and taken down by Vex.
This rotation is not at all working out the way that Besiktas wanted it to. They got 5 kills early. They kept all 4 players alive. And now, just 1 rotation later, Lux is all that's left. And he has a full team in Gamerlegion holding him off on a potential rotation here. That's not going to be easy whatsoever.
In hindsight, I don't think that was the wisest rotation to make. In my eyes, maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know where else they could have gone. That's the thing. Everything in this circle is taken in this one. Unless if you can make it all the way up to Potato Hill, which they couldn't from their side of the circle.
No, they couldn't.
Yeah, this was pretty much the only play they could make.
We do see PG also trying to make that play, but is going to be caught out by the boom from Winside. Knockdown comes out.
He's just going to send it full speed forward. Somehow avoids all the bullets, but he's going to run into the guys from Gamerlegion in just a short moment. We hear all the shots fired. Now Arco down in the distance as well. And the boom. He knows there's 1 more out there somewhere. He's running in the background. Yannick gets spotted out. Nail up down. And Yannick somehow alive as well. He's in the blue though, and it's going to start hurting a lot in just about 30 seconds once it connects.
Hopefully he can survive, keep himself alive, and move on forward. But it's going to definitely be a hard play coming out from him. As we did see Quickmath getting knocked out. I think they've been scored.
Yeah, they were playing on the rough side of the circle here. Trying to make a rotation and didn't really work out there. When Avangar and Se7en Esports now as well fighting things off. In the meantime, we have Winside and NoTech trying to take this engagement. And like NoTech, they disengage from the compound. Realize we cannot just let them push in towards us. We need to make some space here. So they're coming up to the ridge line, trying to hold them off. They have the circle now, so they can fall back eventually. But they want to finish off these 2 players on Winside before they back down.
Now we did see Avangar getting the better of Se7en Esports, using the blue zone to their advantage and forcing Se7en back, so they're going to be able to move on into safe zone sooner rather than later. No tag team knocks down Moon on the side of Winside, but I think that's Winside taken out. No, there's 1 member left.
And PG gone out completely. Winside out completely as well. Moonwolf gone out immediately after. And Edelweiss, he's in for a rough run here too. Avangar, we wanted to see results. And right now they have 5 kills with 4 alive. Of course, we said that about Besiktas just before too, so don't want to jinx anything. Let's see what they can do with honestly, a pretty decent spot in the circle here. They have the forest for now. There are different players around that could potentially make a threat to them. But for now, they have a spot they can fight from.
Yeah, I do like how no tag team are spread out. They have a lot of angles covered as Calamenta, the top damage dealer right now in this week's plays, get knocked down.
You got completely and utterly wrecked by Quizzy and Perfectix. They're pushing up on this one. They saw the knock come in, and they're trying to utilize that and potentially make a play on it. Salsera down. Quizzy once again active from afar. Deepa's pushed up close. He's going to get the knock on towards Fake, and now it's all Calvin Klein left remaining. He's still there, but he's going to go down. Wow, Quizzy, triple kill on towards the guys in Desperado, securing themselves, not only staying alive, but get themselves to compound too.
I thought that might go against Northern Lights for a split second when there's 2 members knocked down, but Quizzy comes in, as you say, gets that triple kill and keeps Northern Lights alive.
We keep talking about it. Every time we see Quizzy go down early, we're like, oh Lord, how is Northern Lights going to do this game? But Quizzy really has been one hell of a force to be dealt with by other teams, and honestly, a lot of them had a really hard time doing so.
And, you know, Desperado didn't exactly do a bad job. It's just Northern Lights crashed him after getting that first knockdown.
Yeah.
And it was also great by Northern Lights to respond to that.
Those situations can be extremely hard to play around. And of course, Quizzy got the 2 knocks from the distance, then pushed up when he saw that his teams were starting to fall apart. They didn't really need that kind of overview position any longer. So he pushed down, helped up close. Unfortunately, him and OK Bro managed to stay alive, both of them. But extremely good fight between both the teams. Calvin had the good on-finger position inside the house for a while. Got himself a knock on 1 and flushed out 2 others. So good fighter ended up going in the way of his opponents. Oh, Lux.
No
Hi,
way.
Bjorn. How are you
No
doing?
way.
How are you doing, Bjorn? No, you. What? Lux. No. Oh, he does get the knock, but now he just wants to flush him. That's all he wants.
Yeah, but that should have happened about like 5 seconds earlier, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Lux stopped shooting, but it's like, oh, he's knocked. But that was not quite the case. Somehow he's still inside the circle, though. She actually does get to heal up. Macken is not safe just yet. He's tanking the blue. He's going to go down to the blue as well. Oh my god, Gamerlegion all of a sudden in trouble after coming off to a good start. Polderic goes down. That's going to be Avangar once again able to grind themselves a few more points here. Still 3 guys alive. They lost 1 player just before Asterin make that, and now we'll see what they can hold off here. The new teams are coming from the west side. I think that's what they're going to be doing their best to hold off first. How is Lux still alive? This makes no sense to me. Nate's coming in now too. How is Lux still alive?
It's a no. Yeah,
no. He's dead. I was like, there's no way in hell he's surviving this. But in all honesty, he got himself into placement points. I mean, that's a pretty good feat off of that. I have no idea how it managed to happen, but somehow off of not necessarily whiffing because he didn't miss the bullets, he just didn't fire enough of them. I don't know exactly how that unfolded.
Well, I suppose sometimes you've fired enough clips. Sometimes you just know
because you've
hit enough.
It's a mechanic thing, right? It's like what do you call it? It's like a muscle memory thing. You shoot the amount of bullets you think is needed, and then he stopped a bit too early. Clip. Can we see this once again? Max is with the AWM. He does not want to lose this weapon, but Clip, he knows the placement points are important, and he's going to try and just use Avangar as kind of his shield and crawling on forward here.
That's a really clever play coming out from Clip. Yeah, it's so easy to kind of go for that shot, to go for the play. You know, kind of, okay, I can maybe get a kill, but
I mean,
if you're gonna get yourself spot out, exactly. So he's using the path that Avangar laid out to go follow up behind him, the 4th member. But now, okay, bro gets the job on the max up, but Clem he's gonna get that kill on the.
Got your back, Avangar. I got your back. Don't worry, don't shoot me. We're teaming up, aren't we? He gets himself a knock on 1 more. Oh, but he is gonna go down in return. Maxisol accidentally takes out a Noctiv with the vehicle explosion there. Not a whole lot more to be done, unfortunately. But why do you kill him? He was there to help you. He made sure that the sneaky snake didn't kill you from above. Oh, that's so rude. But Clip managing to get a 6th place after all, that's a pretty decent feat.
That's what I was thinking. He's done great to put his team up higher up and did get a kill in the process. So that's an arcade point, not a placement point. But now, Jubzeg looking for Talk, who's under pressure on the side of Avangar.
A lot of shots coming up in his direction. Max is, of course, wanting to get back up on his feet. The rest is potentially coming in, but Tornado Energy are making their way up the hill. Tornado as well, a team that we haven't seen a whole lot from this week.
Yeah, and also we haven't really talked heavily about this game, but they've just kept it in their own way. They played it pretty effectively. They got 3 kills so far. They could do it, landing a couple of more, especially if they're going to look to finish 1st place overall. But yeah.
Rip for Tuck. He's going to go down, and that's going to be Avangar out as well. And yeah, of course, I mean, Tornado Energy, they had the compound for quite a while, and they haven't really been forced to go anywhere, which means that, of course, also, because the fights have been happening elsewhere, they haven't really gotten that many kill points. I believe 3 kills so far is what they've been able to pull off. And, of course, they want to get themselves some more.
Fortunately not connecting by ours. Now they do need to be careful because the zone's going to start pulling in in the next couple of seconds. And, you know, I think it's always risky leaving it to the last second to move in.
And you can see Givit. He does have a playable position in the circle, but it's not exactly easy to play from here. I think they do have this ridge line, though, going all the way around. So they can potentially sit in being Seacom, but all these other guys, they know exactly where they're sitting. And give them just a split second of reaction time to get those shots onto Wuchu, and that's most likely going to be you down. Ooh, Fex, he knows he's there. Hamster is pushing around the other side too, and that is going to be Quizzy out, but great effort for both Quizzy and OK Bro in staying alive for as long as they did. 4th place for Northern Lights yet again. They managed to get themselves into placement points and kills with it, securing that 1st place spot even more.
They just need to keep up that average points per game, that consistency, just to keep the enemies away. You know, like a point a day keeps a doctor away. I think that's going to be
8
my new
points
saying.
a day keeps elimination away. Is that the Is that the feat? Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe not a day, a game. Right. Okay. 1 billion points a day gives you wins.
Or 32 points today.
Or 30 points. Yeah, that's pretty decent too.
Yeah.
That is pretty decent too. Hamster, he's going to shoot in the smokes. He's going to get shot in the smokes, I guess I should say. It's him and Fex who are running around up there. Combat is the one to deliver all the damage. And for those of you guys, of course, who's been watching along, these groups are going to be rather easy to join up on real soon, because that's when the whole leaping thing comes in. Hamster Fex, they'll go down and out. Gamerlegion out in 3rd place. But again, good performance from them. We saw Zoekt Een Naam out early on with barely any kills. So good for Gamerlegion to be able to grind some more points there.
Very good indeed. That's going to add a couple of kill points onto Tornado Energy right now. It's going to have 5 overall. However, Compa and LGG do have to move in, but he's just jumping in the vehicle. That's a bit of a riskier play, but it worked out for him.
Yeah, and now he can sit on the other side and potentially help his teammates in crossing over as well. That's a pretty damn important position to be in, because as you can see here, once one is over, they all start sending it. An example, he is he's going to have a tough task here, holding them off.
And a good thing for No Tag Team is that there's a lot of trees blocking Tornado Energy's vision to where No Tag Team are. It's a little bit lucky, but they're making a payoff for it now. But,
and it's important too, because when you can see Combat and Aaliyah, they need to cross on over. Combat has yet to cross the road. He is jumping down now, but this could potentially be him going down in just a short moment. He does. Yep, he's going to run all over now. Seems like the smokes are placed correctly, so that should allow for him to get over to the other side.
See, O'Connell, he spots him. Shots being fired from both sides, damage being dealt from both sides, so they'll just play it safe for now with the circle closing in, just trying to fly out those smoke grenades, create that path, and move on forward.
I don't think that smoke grenade landed exactly where he wanted it to. Wanted to be able to look on up there, but not quite the case. O'Connell right now behind that rock, he's going to be outside of the next circle. So maybe fall back down now before the blue is too close and try and see if you can reposition. Because as you can see on his screen right there in the corner, too, like, oh, no, the blue is coming. I need to go somewhere else. Aaliyah is the flanker. We know this position play is really in effort from this player.
I do think No Tag Team have a better position. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I just feel they have a lot better angles covered.
Yeah.
That they're going to be able to spot off the players of Tornado Energy a lot quicker.
Yep, they need to make a hero play here on this if they want to get pinned inside this compound. It's going to be really hard for them to get out of there. Nade thrown forward. O'Connell, you will have to make this run eventually. They ain't going to go far enough.
I think Compa is making a good play for now. Using a good few of his bullets, but he's going to try and get over to that vehicle, get over to those trees. But no, he gets knocked down. That is exactly what No Tag Team needed. That's the first knockdown coming out from them.
Not a whole lot more Combat could do there, unfortunately. Trying to hold the angle, trying to play it aggressive, but the smokes were fading and he was completely out of cover. Millman trying to see from behind. No idea where they are, but still managed to land the nade on towards O'Connell.
Trying to get some shots off. I do think Tornado, as much as one member's gone down, they're still trying to make it play it a little bit safer. But we do see the second example goes outside of that little area of cover. He gets shots fired, and that's going to him potentially essentially knocked down by Araris.
Gibbet is doing everything he can here to hold the angle. It's going to be extremely tough for them to go anywhere. This smoke he's using right now is coming into play, and then some. Jupsig has a small tree to hide behind, but that's all the cover he's going to get. Aaliyah out in the blue is going to go down to, and Gibbet and Jupsig alone took out all the guys in Tornado Energy to finish off things there. What a crazy ending, and gotta give it to No Tag. They needed to make the push. They needed to cross the road. They managed to do so, and then